Hello, travel entrepreneurs. Rita here. This is day 2, talking all about your travel business operations. If you are new or if I haven't introduced myself recently, I am a travel advisor of 12 years. And back in 2020, I decided I wanted to support the travel industry as well as being a part of this amazing industry. So it wasn't until fast forward March 2021 where I started the Strategic Travel Entrepreneur podcast. And we just spoke. I spoke with industry experts, both inside of the industry and outside of the industry, on things that they did really well and how they helped their own clients. And it has kind of boomed since then. I have gone on to produce this event prep for Wave Week, and then the Mining for Gemstones training, which is really all about your client experience for your travel business. And I have put out a couple digital products here and there. So I'm really a marketing consultant strategist for your travel business. But today's topic about operations, and specifically how you can utilize it to help make operations in your travel business easier, is something that I'm super passionate about, because I use a lot of the tools that we're going to be talking about today. And it just not only makes your life easier, it makes you look like a travel business baddie. I always try and say that. I try and filter myself so I'm not using the cursey words, but they really do help to make you a travel business baddie. And I have clearly not set up a whole formal presentation. I didn't want to go ahead and do that. If you have followed me on the podcast and you know me, I really like just freestyling and going about, but I did come prepared with some notes. So that's why I had this whiteboard open for you here, because what I really want to talk about and get into is all the different types of tech that you can utilize to make your travel business operations easier. I remember when I first started in this industry, most of this tech, if it did exist, I was not aware that it existed. And when I say if it did exist, I'm thinking more like the email marketing softwares probably did exist, because I'm pretty sure MailChimp did exist 12 years ago. But things like travel business CRM systems, which are customer relationship management systems, didn't exist. So many things, especially in terms of forms, I had to make into a Word doc and then send that Word doc to my client. They had to fill it out, scan it, and then send it back to me so that I would have like their details, information, credit card authorization, decline insurance waiver. And so when a lot of these programs came into place, not only did it make my life easier, it just made me look so much more professional, like I was a professional business owner that had tools that I could utilize for my systems. So actually, now that and this is why I didn't want to create a formal presentation, because now that I'm talking and saying certain things, other ideas come to mind. So I am just writing another idea down. And that's why I have the whiteboard here, so that we can just free flow here. Let's see. I've never officially used the whiteboard. Actually, this whole thing is just going to be a whiteboard of information. So the first things that I want to talk to you about in helping to make your travel business operations easier, more efficient, help you be a more effective travel business owner, are CRMs. I think that's like the best place to kind of start, because everything else really is a marketing system. So we're going to go through CRMs, customer relationship management. Then we have itinerary builders. Then we have scheduling. We have project management tools. Scheduling in regards to your calendar, but then there's also things for scheduling in terms of marketing when it comes to social media. Then creating graphics, email marketing, video web conferencing, which actually I can add a couple more there. Let's see, hold on just a second, because I'm adding things here. Screen recording, websites. I'll even let's add some podcasting things, because that's another great avenue for you to start marketing your business or getting out there. Alrighty. So let's just dive in deep. I don't know even when I started recording this, so I'm like, hopefully I can keep this to 20 to 30 minutes. Alrighty, so customer relationship management, these types of tools. Now, there are tools that are specifically like just for invoicing, but then there's also things that help collect forms, collect information so that you can build a database. You may have some of these tools available if you're affiliated with a host agency or consortium. I am affiliated with a host agency and a consortia through the host agency, but you can also, I have subscriptions to some of these on my own that I use either strictly for my travel business or that I use for my marketing business. So the name, and then there's also new ones, new technology that has come out there, and I know people are still building even more for the travel industry that kind of comprises, because the two main things that we're going to be talking about are CRMs and itinerary builders. So there's a couple of companies that have come out there that have done both, like put together both things on their platforms. And okay, let's just dive in deep. If you have not already heard of TravelJoy, so TravelJoy is the CRM that I personally use. I have dabbled in a little bit with Planet Easy, which Planet Easy is one of those that does a little bit of combination of both, where it's got the CRM aspect and the itinerary builder aspect, and I use it mainly for itinerary building. So if you didn't know, I am going to be fully transparent, give you a peek into my business operations as well, so that you can, it kind of like gives a little bit of clarity where I'm coming from and can help you out. So I specialize mostly in cruise ship retreats. And so for me, I don't necessarily need, because I don't build a lot of FIT, the independent travel. I don't build a lot of those trips because a lot of that is just already built in a cruise itinerary. So I didn't really need a robust, and I didn't want to be paying. I think like that's also something as a precursor before we dive in deep to everything, is use all the free tools and the free possibilities or the lower cost possibilities as you can in the beginning. And then as you start generating more business, or if you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed, then start adding the paid stuff on, because the paid stuff is really going to be helpful. So this is why I hadn't invested fully in an itinerary builder, and I went to go with Planet Easy instead, because Planet Easy had a low cost option to build any single itineraries that I had out there. And it worked for me. So, but I haven't like really gotten too many things. So TravelJoy, what you can do is send invoices if people need to fill out forms. So right now I have a corporate retreat that's going to be sailing actually next week. And I needed to collect alcohol package information from them. And instead of like setting up a spreadsheet or anything, or multiple emails going back and forth, I was just able to create a form in TravelJoy, got that sent out through the group leader, and now everybody's sending me their information through this form. So it is super easy to go ahead and invoice these people through that process. There's less paperwork because it just streamlines everything. So invoicing, forms, contracts, and agreements are also done through TravelJoy. It is like a big hub. I love TravelJoy. I know a lot of people love TravelJoy as well. They trust it. They are very great, like troubleshooting issues and all that. So, and they are a work in progress. All of these apps are a work in progress. So other things, like I mentioned, are Planet Easy. I would say Planet Easy and Revolution Travel CRM are similar in the sense they are trying to be a CRM and an itinerary builder all together. They're both new technologies, and I guess again, with like very new technologies, it just takes a little bit to get up there. Here, let me go ahead and write some of these down so we have them here for you. TravelJoy, Planet Easy, Revolution. And if there's any of them that you haven't heard about, or that I haven't heard about or mentioned here, I can't even type, please let me know. Oh, that's why I was like, I wanted a one line. Here we go. Travel CRM. Then we also have Tess, which I think is Travel eSolutions. I may have messed that up. TESS is super robust. And for me personally, I think it gets a little complicated with TESS. And I only say that because I have just dabbled in a little bit. I think because it's like so robust, it almost is a little bit complicated, but I know other people who love it, especially if you're an agency owner and have ICs. I've heard TESS is really great for somebody in that type of situation because it helps to keep everybody almost separated and individual, but you still have all the agency information. Not saying that one of these other tools cannot handle that or cannot do that, but I just don't think it's as robust as what TESS offers for agency owners in comparison, and just what I've heard from other travel industry people. Then we also have, so these 4, plus there is, I'm going to forget it, but it's like a time and true travel industry. I think it's trams, client base. Yes, let's go ahead. Let's just put tram/client base, which I know they are working on making their system robust as well. Trace, I think is what those 2 systems are going to be evolutionized to. So stay on the lookout for that. The Trace is another option. So those I would say are specific travel industry CRMs. You can house all of your client information there. You can make templated emails in there that need to go out. You can put in task lists, and I'm specifically speaking to TravelJoy, but I know a lot of the other ones have the same thing. So if you know that as soon as you book somebody, you want to be sending a thank you card, enter that in a task list so that the system sends you a reminder to do it. And that's the nice thing about some of these processes, is that when we're thinking about using tech to make your travel business systems run more efficiently and effectively, that's what it is. Like, we have so much intellectual property in our brains that we don't even understand or comprehend. And that's what these systems help keep us on track of the different things, so that we don't have, like, we can alleviate some of the stresses that are in our brains because we're trying to manage all the different moving parts. Other systems that you may have heard of are Dubsado and Honeybook, which are similar, but they are not travel business specific. You can utilize them for your travel business. Just know that you may need to be doing a little bit more editing. They, I would say, depending on what they are a little bit more robust. You can send proposals through these systems just like you can send proposals through the other systems: TravelJoy, Planet Easy, Revolution Travel, CRM, TESS, Trams, Trace, all the like. I would say, like, this is more like online business. So I actually use Honeybook when I'm working with my marketing clients. So when you get a proposal, when you get an invoice, if we're that's the other thing, is that you can do email communication with clients back and forth through like a portal system with these tools, instead of like having 50 million separate emails going back and forth in your email inbox. It really helps to declutter your email inbox with all of the communication going in through there. And then you also have a central hub. So if you need to reference another email, you can go back through this list, and all the emails are stored within their project or within their trip within these systems. So these are the CRM systems. Another like honorable mention that I wanted to let you know about is Wave Apps, which is an invoicing system. So really, if you're in the starting stages, Wave Apps is one of the free apps that you can start with. I think you have to pay for it like once you get to a certain level. But if you're just looking for a simple, easy system to invoice people for your service fees, to invoice people for anything that they're adding onto their trip, Wave Apps is really that. It will not let you authorize a card. Like, this is going to be like you are getting money. So, which is the nice thing about using a system like TravelJoy, where somebody can just authorize their card and not totally pay for it. And that's that's one of the things that I like about TravelJoy, especially being in a state with seller of travel laws, where I just need the authorization for the cruise line, and then I pay that using that credit card authorization instead of it coming out for my own credit card. I hope that makes sense. So Wave Apps is another solution if you're strictly wanting invoicing and you want to get that financial data. That is what Wave Apps is for. So those are your CRM systems. Then we have, and that's not like a full, I'm sure there are many more that are out there. I just do not know them all. So next, I want to get into some of your itinerary builders. I think the most famous, the most loved that's in the industry is Travefy. And Travefy, not only are they great at being in the itinerary builder business and making their systems enhanced, and I know that Travefy is trying to get more of the forms invoicing system, and similarly Travel Joy is trying to get more itinerary building stuff. So I don't think that you would lose out going either or, like if you wanted to pick one or the other. Travefy is just strictly more of an itinerary builder, or something like a Travel Joy. You can create like preliminary itinerary proposals, but it won't loop in all the information, like has a flight been changed, has a flight been updated, hotel information on cruise ships. That is what itinerary builders will have. And again, like if you didn't have enough money to go ahead and invest in something like this, then simply putting something on a Google Doc or putting something in Canva, on a Canva form that you make, is helpful to start out at the base level. And then once you start getting in more clients or taking in more professional fees or whatever it is that you have more income being generated, then you can go ahead and invest in some of these systems. So Travefy, I know, is the top. Oh, and what I was saying, because, I have a million thoughts. Not only is Travefy good for itinerary building, Travefy has really great education for the travel industry just as a whole. They hold so many amazing, like they just did, I forget what it was called, but they just recently did something week-long educational series online that I know was super beneficial. I was prepping for Wave Week, so I couldn't like really attend everything, but I know that a lot of people got a lot of value, and they have like really great training as well. So stay tuned to that. And then it's UMapped is another one. And then Access is another one. I think now that I'm thinking about it, Travel 42 is another one. And if it's not strictly itinerary building, it is giving destination insights and information that you can use for your itineraries that I've heard of. So those are some other ones. I think I have attempted to use UMapped, but because I do so many groups, their groups capability wasn't as robust as what I needed. So I couldn't like really commit to using that. So that's just a little bit of insights to me. I'm not trying to dog anybody. I'm just trying to give you actual real life feedback from someone who has used many of these systems. Then calendar. So if you are needing to make appointments, discovery calls, consultation calls, it can take a lot of bandwidth to go back and forth. Like, hey, I'm available this, and this from this time to this time. Can you do it? Going back and forth. And so that's what a calendar system can help you do. So I personally use and love Calendly. They have a free version, but you can go ahead and upgrade to advanced. And that is what I have done. So I think there's 4 levels, and I'm now on the 3rd level. And the more levels you go, the more features. So if you use multiple calendars, which I have at least 3 different calendars that I go out of to schedule things that need to be looked at. So it takes into consideration what other appointments that you have. You can block out certain times. So maybe you only want to take calls, like I do, Tuesdays and Thursdays in the afternoons. You can block out that availability. So instead of like the back and forth of going like, okay, I am available Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 1 to 5 p.m., you say, hey, take a look at my calendar and see what works for you. And then they can go ahead, schedule the appointment. You can connect your Zoom through this if you wanted to do a Zoom appointment, or you can just keep it as like a phone appointment. They can send you the details, their phone number details. You can also start asking them questions. So if it's a discovery call, when are you looking to go on your trip? What kind of trip are you looking to go on? You can start asking and getting that information in advance, so you're not totally going into a call blindly. So that, I'm trying to think what else. If you wanted, or if you do offer paid consultations. That's what the third tier lets you do. Actually let somebody schedule an appointment with you, and then they can pay for that appointment right then. So it helps if you're trying to charge professional fees, or if you're just doing like a paid consult. If you're like a travel coach and you're not actually going to be planning the full trip, or if this is just going to be like a travel coaching session, they need to pay for that. And it's just an additional tool that you can go ahead and accept money. It connects to your Stripe account. And once they pay for it, it's a done deal. It's really all set for you there. Other calendar, I am all about like ease. And so Acuity is another calendar system that I have seen. I have also attempted to use it because it does have the free plan. It just didn't work out for me like Calendly did. And then I've recently heard of something like Schedulicity, but I haven't dove in deep to like really learn a bit more about Schedulicity and what it can do. All right, so these are calendar systems. Then I want to go into, I feel like if you saw Christy Mitchell's presentation earlier, you'll see there was a reference to a movie, which I don't even remember the name of it, but there's that "and then." So she has it in her presentation, like a little GIF there, or a meme. Alrighty, so we've talked about CRMs. That's the top part. Then we went ahead, talked a little bit of itinerary builders. Then we talked about calendar schedulers. And now I want to talk about project management tools, which I know a lot of you, Trello is the first one, because there's also different travel business supporters that talk and use and do trainings on Trello. So I'm not knocking Trello. I think Trello is a good like beginner point to start at for project management tools. So project management tools, if you didn't already know, we talked to Sequence. So the first 3 project management tools I'm going to talk to you about, or just briefly mention, are just general. Anybody can use them. You can tailor them to whatever industry. Then there is a new project management tool that is called Sequence. Sorry, I'm thinking about something other kind of tech to help you out in your travel business as I'm going through this. See, this is why I didn't want to do an official formal presentation. All right, so Trello, and then we have Asana as another project management tool, and then we have ClickUp. So marketing day is tomorrow. Sorry, we were talking about something you'll see tomorrow. Today is operations day. So if you haven't already seen the presentation by Alicia Lozano, you want to check that out because she talks a lot about SOPs, standard operating procedures, systems, and projects. And so every single thing that you do has a system. You just may not know that there's a system in place because it's not something that's written down. You have a standard operating procedure. It's just not written down. And so we need to be able to write these things, make templates so that we can put them in systems like this, so that, again, we can free up our intellectual minds, our intellectual brains, so we don't have to be worried, like, did I send this email? Did I book this for them? Did I send them the final payment reminder? Did I pay their invoice? Did I make sure I booked their gift? All those little different questions and details that we have to focus on as travel business owners. If we just took that system out of our brains and put it into a tool like one of these project management systems that you could add in so many different systems and put task lists on those systems, so it's similar to what you might get in a Travel Joy, it frees up your time so that really all you need to do is like, okay, I'm going to be checking my system. What do I have to do today? It saves you time and it saves you energy is what these tools do for you. And so I'm a huge proponent for ClickUp. I wish I used it more often. And I think like that's my goal at the end of this year, is to start putting more systems in place in my ClickUp specifically. I really want Sequence ladies, please come out beta. I need you. So Sequence is the last tool. It is specifically created for the travel business, which is why I'm also kind of like hesitating on doing things in ClickUp, Because if there's a specific tool that's built for travel advisors, that means I don't have to recreate the wheel as much like I would need to do in a system like Trello, Asana, and ClickUp. So those are project management tools. They just make your life easier. I can't speak too much on ClickUp, but Trello, Asana, or I can't speak too much on Sequence, but Trello, Asana, and ClickUp all have free versions. And then again, if you want to get a little bit more robust, more features, then you do paid accounts. But their paid accounts are really cost effective compared to some of these other things. So I will say, in these types of systems, you're looking at, so CRM, you're looking at about like $30-ish a month. I would say that's an average. Same thing with an itinerary builder. It's about $30-ish a month. They do knock the pricing down if you do like the yearly plan, which is always nice so that you don't have a monthly bill coming to you. I would say, so Calendly, I pay yearly. And Calendly, I want to say it's maybe $150 for the year, anywhere from $10 to $20 a month for the paid version of the plan that I'm working in. And I want to say ClickUp for the year was definitely less than $100. But again, like I didn't get like the most robust thing. I kind of just got an entry-level paid version. I was using the free version, but then I was putting too much and doing too much into it that I needed to upgrade and get more space. So that's why I started paying for ClickUp. Sequence, again, I can't speak to because they haven't fully launched yet. It's still in testing phase. So I don't know what the pricing is. And I'm trying to give you as much information as possible. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to head out to the Strategic Travel Entrepreneur Facebook group to ask some questions. You can also comment below this video, or I'm trying to think what else is offered, or you can join us on Study Hall. It is between 3 and 4 p.m. Eastern time today and get some of your questions answered live in person. A Study Hall pass upgrade is just $25, and you'll see this information below to sign up for a Study Hall pass. But we are not done yet. Let's keep on going. Let's make another box. Alrighty, now, so we've talked about a lot of things. Now I want to get into a little bit about marketing. So these really are the tools you need for operations, operating your travel business. These next tools, operating your travel business, in order to operate your travel business, you need clients, and how you get clients is through marketing clients. It's through marketing clients, marketing to your clients, promoting your business so that your clients can find you and decide that they want to work with you. So that's why there are a lot of systems that are built to do this. So I am going to write Planoly is one that I've heard of. I've not used it myself. Later, I have used myself. The one that I use the most is Meta Business Suite, or formerly known as Facebook Business Suite. Let me see if I can edit. There we go. I want everything on one line. And I use Meta Business Suite because it's easy, it's simple, and it's free. It's already, I don't want to pay. These all do have paid or free versions of them, but I'm also like, why do I need to get another tech? Why do I need to get another tool if Meta Business Suite can do the scheduling for me? What I wish Meta Business Suite could do is schedule reels that will go on Facebook, on Instagram. It does not do that currently, or as the current time of me recording. And so that is why you may need some of these other systems, as well as being able to schedule on other platforms. Tailwind is a good one if you are big on Pinterest. Hootsuite is one that I was looking into for scheduling on LinkedIn. I have TaskBirdie on this list, and I'm not really sure why I have it on this list. I'm sure that I've heard it somewhere. I've clearly never used TaskBirdie before, so I can't really speak on it. But yes, it's another one of those schedulers that you can use. One that I wanted to mention, because I'm using it with one of my marketing clients now, is Buffer. Oh, also YouTube Studio. You can schedule. Actually, I had not written that down, but YouTube Studio is one that you can schedule your YouTube videos or your YouTube shorts. But Buffer is one that I wanted to talk about real quick because you can have on their free version, you can have 3 accounts. So for this marketing client, it is LinkedIn, it is Instagram, and the third one that I want to get them on is Google Business Profile, because you're going to hear more about Google Business Profile tomorrow on Marketing Day with Amy Graves. I think it is a hidden tool that not enough travel business owners are utilizing. And so to be able to schedule content on Buffer for Google Business Profile is huge. So I like Buffer because it does offer that option. I'm not sure if any of the other ones do, so sorry about that. But I think, like, for me personally in my travel business and going into 2023, I want to do automatic scheduling on LinkedIn, which Buffer does. I want to do automatic scheduling, and it does free scheduling of reels. Planoly, I believe, does not, because I was trying to use my client's Planoly account and was finding out, nope, it doesn't let you schedule reels for free, but Buffer will on their free plan. And then being able to do Google Business Profile. So LinkedIn, Instagram, Google Business Profile are my personal 3 platforms that I'm going to go into, like, really wanting to, like, hone in on. I think if you go on paid plans, I think it might be like $10 to $15 a month. And so probably less than $200 a year if you wanted to do a yearly plan on any of these. I mentioned YouTube Studio because not only can you do YouTube videos there, but you can also schedule shorts, YouTube shorts. So if you are one for loving to repurpose content, if you have a vertical short form video that can be repurposed on TikTok, Instagram Reels, and YouTube Shorts. So I don't do a lot of TikTok, but I know that that's a big thing for a lot of people. So a lot of these will also go ahead and schedule videos and things on YouTube. But I think, like, for me, going in kind of like insider information for you, those are the 3 areas. And if I can get that all scheduled through one app, Buffer, for free, then that's what I'm going to do. So that's really what I'm focusing on. And then YouTube Studio, if you have a YouTube account already, it's free to schedule. So just use the YouTube to schedule out your videos, whether it's the horizontal videos like this, or if it's a short form vertical video for your shorts, use the studio. I'm all about, again, using free for as long as you can until you cannot anymore, because you need more robustness or you need more features. Alrighty, then, I mean, I've talked about it before, Canva. Canva has a free version and it has a paid version. I used the free version for as long as I could. The paid version, I think, is only 12 or 13 bucks a month. So it's not that expensive. And also, Black Friday is coming up. You can bet that a lot of these, if not all, are going to have Black Friday specials. So if you are someone that loves to get in on deals, especially for the tech that you're using so you can keep your business expenses down, keep an eye out to the deals and the offers that will be coming up for Black Friday this year in just a couple of weeks. But so Canva is somewhere where you can create, like, all your graphics, like all your social media graphics. You can do presentations in Canva. You can do flyers, PDFs. You can do documents in Canva. You can do promotional marketing material. So I have created, like, almost like a promo book in there. You can create, like, your social media reels. You can create graphics. You can create carousels. There's so many things that Canva can do. I want to say Canva was probably, like, the old school, what I grew up on, like Paint and Microsoft PowerPoint. And it is just a free graphic tool that you can utilize. I have gone to the paid version because I do a lot of marketing for clients. What I like about the paid version, and what you may consider for yourself if you're thinking about upgrading to the paid version, is that the paid version gives you a brand kit, which has been so helpful, not only for my own businesses, but also managing different people's businesses. Is the brand kit, I can keep different logos in each brand kit for the businesses. I can keep the library of fonts on these different brand kits. I can keep the different brand colors in the different brand kits. So it's not like I have to go look up hex codes all the time. Like it's already there in Canva. And so that's what I like about the paid version as well. The paid version gives you more robustness, more options. So if you're wanting the nicer photos, if you're wanting to access the nicer videos, the stock library of things, you want to get the premium, the paid version of Canva. But I don't think you need it in starting out your travel business. I think like maybe for the first year or two, get the paid version. And then when you're doing a little bit more business, need to free up your time, then graduate to the paid version of Canva. All right, let's get into some email marketing. All right, ConvertKit is the first one on the list. I have attempted to use ConvertKit. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. And that's why I give you so many options, is that something I might like a lot, you might hate. And that's okay, because all of our brains work differently. And so that's why I want you to be aware of the different options that are available. There's Flowdesk, which I personally love, but you do have to pay for it. ConvertKit is another one that you have to pay for. MailChimp is one that's widely used. It's one of the free ones. Not my favorite, but I use it. I have a couple clients that actually use it for their marketing information. I just prefer MailerLite. I think MailerLite is just slightly easier than MailChimp, and MailerLite is free. It's actually, if you've been getting emails from me, it has been through MailerLite. I actually started with Constant Contact, and I like Constant Contact, but I thought they were just a little too pricey for what they had to offer. And then when I found Flowdesk, like I just kind of fell in love. Flowdesk, their emails are just beautiful. Analytics aren't the best. So if that's like they have analytics, it's just not as robust as some of the other platforms. So that's the big downfall of Flowdesk. Let's see what else. Active Campaign. Now, you want one of these marketing systems so that you can pretty much get data and analytics. You don't want to be sending like your weekly newsletter or your monthly newsletter or bi-monthly newsletter, whatever emails that you send to a group of clients. So if you're using email for marketing, you want to be using one of these systems. Aweber has a free plan too, and I have used that as well. You want to be using one of these systems because it allows people to unsubscribe, which legally they need to be allowed to do. And you can also find out more about that, legalities in marketing, on tomorrow's marketing sessions with Tom Carpenter. So they need to be allowed to unsubscribe. This also will give you a lot of data as to who is opening your emails, what are they clicking on, what kind of feedback are they giving you. It just gives you, and it also like keeps everything nice and neat and tracked in one system. You can go back and check emails and how they were doing well. So like it just helps you keep organized. It helps you to schedule out emails. It helps you brand things. It's cleaner. It's cleaner than just sending an email from your email address. The other things that many of these, if not most of them or all of them, do is that lead magnets. So you heard that on the podcast last week. I was talking about lead magnets in anticipation for the lead generation session and ads that's happening on Friday on Expansion Day. You can set up the workflows and like welcome email sequence when someone joins your email list through these programs. So many of these programs on their free version will let you create a landing page. So a page where someone goes to sign up for your freebie. It will also allow you to create a workflow. So once they've signed up, what happens? Do you send them an email with the freebie in it? Do you send them the welcome sequence so that they know what to expect once they're on your email list with them? So that is one of the cool things. Like, you don't need a separate tool for this. It is in these email marketing programs. I would say, depending on which one that you would go on, free. Flowdesk, I pay $19 an hour, but I was one of the earlier ones. You can probably still get a code for Flowdesk, and if you need one, I have one. I would appreciate the kickback to me. So if you would like a code to get, I think it's still 50 or 40% off for Flowdesk, please shoot me a message and I will give you my affiliate link. but there are different things that you can use, and these are some of the different things that you can utilize for your email marketing efforts. Again, if you need, we're going to be talking about email newsletters tomorrow in marketing, so you're kind of like seeing how everything works together. Again, this just having a system like this helps makes things easier for you. Then we have video conferencing, and of course the most popular, the most obvious is the one that I'm using right now, Zoom. Hello. I also started with the free version. I did upgrade to the paid version because if you want to speak to multiple people, you can only speak to multiple people for 45 minutes before like Zoom cuts you off and it's like, bye, we're not doing this anymore. So if you have lots of trainings with multiple people, or you have lots of calendar appointments with multiple people, you'll want to bump up to the paid version. And then there's, again, different levels of paid, because the more robust you go, if you want to be hosting webinars for your travel businesses or for travel challenges or things like that, you'll want to have more advanced features. So Zoom, I think, is really great for consultation calls, discovery calls. And if you're going to be hosting a quick training, you can still do the free version and like do maybe like a quick 30-minute training or so. Other things you can use are Google Meet and Microsoft Teams for video conferencing. I have heard from a fellow travel business owner that she has started converting all of her discovery calls from just being calls to being Zoom calls, and that she is converting higher. And I think it's just because of the personal touch that you get from like being able to see somebody and talking with them. So that's something to consider for video conferencing. Other things are recording your screen. So if you wanted to walk through an itinerary, let them know why you did certain things or added certain things. Loom is probably the most popular. I use Loom for some things, but again, the free version kind of like caps you on certain things. I have started to use this thing called Screencast-O-Matic. I've used them for a couple of years. I think their yearly subscription is less than $20 or in the $20 range for a yearly subscription. So I just pay that every year. And you can do the same. It's pretty much the same thing. It's just different than Loom. And I think I chose them because they were just more cost effective than Loom, even though I still use Loom for a couple things for the freebie version. If I need something longer, or if I'm capped like the cap that Loom has, then I switch on to my Screencast-O-Matic to record. Something else, and I will shout out to Travel Biz Boss for teaching everyone this in the industry, is that you can screen record in Canva. So if you have gotten my freebie download, the Visibility Profitability Calculator, I recorded those videos in Canva after Travel Biz Boss said that that was a feature. So you can use some of these paid things, but you may not even need to, because Canva now offers you to screen record, and you can like even brand the sessions. Like if you haven't already downloaded the Visibility Profitability Calculator, make sure that you do that because it's a really great tool. But then you can also see like live in action how I use Canva to screen record the directions of kind of like how to use the calculators that I have there. And so I'm not sure if that's just on the paid version of Canva, because I am on the paid version of Canva, but you may want to see if it's on the free version as well, because that may work for you. And then websites. So I currently use Showit. I could not have built this website on my own. I hired a branding expert. They are not in the travel industry, but they do a lot of travel industry. Like I know Travel Pro Theory utilized them, Heather Christopher Travel utilized them. That's how I found out about them. North and Leisure used them for their branding, and I loved my experience. This is Kindly with Kelsey, or Kindly by Kelsey. Oh shoot, I forget her name. I think it's Kindly by Kelsey, or it's Kindly with Kelsey. But Kelsey is incredible. If you need a branding strategist and you want a personalized business, there are a lot of great now resources in the travel industry that specialize just in the travel industry. But I really loved working with Kelsey because she is so cerebral. Like she knows her stuff. Everything that I wanted my new travel business brand, Rita Ventures, to convey, she was able to get that right with the colors, with the fonts. She created some graphics for me. She designed the logos that I have. There was even one that one of her designers hand designed or visually designed. So it's not anything that's cookie cutter. It's really tailored to me. And that's what I liked it, because I know a lot of designers can be like, just like, we're just going to give you a font and that's going to be your new logo. No, like this was actually designed. It was designed specifically to me. So I give that preface because she used Show It to create my website. There's no way that I could have built a website on Show It by myself. Like, I feel like a Show It expert is really needed. But Show It is not the easiest to work with, which is why I loved working with an expert. And once everything kind of was set on the back end, now I can make little tweaks to it. Show It is somewhere where you can host your website. So once you have gotten the domain, the www.abctravel.com domain, then you need to host it on a web developer page. I don't know the official title, and Show It is one of those. Squarespace is another one. And I believe Kate from Travel Pro Theory actually created like some really cool templates for this, but I don't know if she still has that available. But really cool website templates. This one I would say is pretty easy cookie cutter for you to develop your own website. Again, there's so many, we could talk so much about websites. Hire a professional to do all the things that you need to do for your website, and give them the starting point. We're not experts in web design, unless like you have a background in web designs. We're not experts. There are so many people out there that are creating templates for the travel industry now. Like, I think April from 7 Points Travel. I think I got that right. April. She's created some website templates. I think Christy from Travel Geniuses also creates website templates or creates websites for the travel industry. There is Teak, there is Girl Boss Designer. There are a lot of really like great designers out there. What I would recommend for you to do, in addition to who I use, Kindly by Kelsey, is visit like their social media, visit their websites, look at their designs, look at their profiles, look at the backgrounds. What kind of aesthetic is really speaking to you? What is the wide range of things that they can do for you? Do they have different packages? Can they tailor packages to you? Who are you going to get along with? Like, what personality wise, who are you going to get along with? Are they doing it? Do they have a team doing it? So there's different things for you to focus on. And those are just a couple of questions to ask when you are hiring somebody to create websites. These are just a couple other places where you can create websites. I would say when we're talking about SEO, like I add Wix in there, but Wix is not the best for SEO, search engine optimization, being found on search engines. The other three are better. Wix is really easy to use though. So it's kind of like a give and take. Like, I used Wix for 3-ish years. And then when I went on to Show It, just vastly different experience, especially because my blog for my Show It site is connected to WordPress. So again, there's lots of complexities there. None of these are free. You're going to have to pay for something for web hosting, but these are just some different options that you can host your website. Again, I'm one of those big proponents to use and have your own personal website, professionally designed website, instead of having a templated website from your host agency, consortia, whoever it be, because you are your travel brand. You are not the travel brand of the consortia or the host agency. You are your own, and you need a personalized website to kind of show and convey and give that emotion, that branding to the people that are trying to look for you and utilize your services. Whew. All right, we've got a lot of like tech that is out there. I just wanted to add one final list of tech, and that is in terms of podcasting. And so I could dive into, well, no, I want to go into more. Okay, so let's podcasting. In order to have a podcast, you need to have a podcast host. So Libsyn is one, Buzzsprout is one. I use both of them for different business podcasts that I have. The Strategic Travel Entrepreneur podcast is actually on Buzzsprout, and then my travel business podcast is on Libsyn. Libsyn is kind of like the leader out there. I kind of like the analytics of Buzzsprout a little bit better. Libsyn does have a really low cost one that I'm not on their lowest cost, but I'm on a low cost. Their lowest cost, I think, is $5 a month. The plan that I'm on right now is $7 a month, whereas Buzzsprout, I think, starts you out at $12 a month, which is not terrible either. Like, it's all pretty affordable to be able to host your podcast. Again, depending on where you're at, like, you only get a certain amount of minutes depending on the paid plan that you're on. So, Anchor, I think, is a free one. I didn't like Anchor. It wasn't, for me, it wasn't easy to use. So that's why I don't use Anchor, but Anchor's a free one if you wanted to do a free or be hosted on a free podcast. There's other ones, but now I'm drawing a blank, and that's okay because I also wanted to get to, and I'm not going to remember all of these. There are other travel specific things. So the first thing that came to mind is the TA toolkit. There are other travel business tech that have been coming up from the ingenuity, the innovativeness, that's the innovativeness, the innovations from travel business owners from the pandemic to make our lives easier as travel business owners. And TA Toolkit is one of those that a fellow travel business owner created to make it easier to figure out which all-inclusive you should put your clients on. I don't know the full spring of all this. I would love to one day be able to have like a travel tech summit. So maybe that might come to the podcast or something soon. But TA Toolkit is one of those that I think about just because I've seen them around on social media a lot as well, that really hones in and helps. So when we're talking about making your travel business operations more efficient, more effective, tools like TA Toolkit, where you can just search based on parameters that your client wants and be able to pop up with some options that would fit their needs. Do they want a luxury property? Do they want a pool? Do they want an all-inclusive? All the like, you'll be able to filter this out through the system that they have created instead of like doing things one by one. I will say another one that I will shout out that I can think of off the top of my head that helps makes things easier, especially for newbies, is Travel Industry Solutions. They have legal templates. I'm trying to think what else is like travel specific. They not only have legal templates, but they also have templates for your task list to make things easier. So when you're thinking about your workflows, that's what they have available as well. And kind of thinking on that, since we're going there, Travel Biz Boss also has templates. Masters in Travel has templates. It's also a podcast. Masters in Travel has templates. They also have like itinerary helpers. So if you're really wanting to create different itineraries around the world, I know they have like itinerary and like destination. That's really what it is, destination highlights, to really help you when you have a client coming to you, they want to head over to some destination, whatever it is. I know they have Ireland, I think they have Disney, they have tons, but those are the first things that come to mind. Masters in Travel is another area that you can go to. Teak, they do branding and websites and all the like, but they do also have special trainings, and they have templates and workflows as well that you can go ahead and purchase any like in advance, like now, so that you don't have to start from ground zero. Trying to think if I've missed anything. These are all paid things, by the way. So when I talk about like paid versus free, you can see how some of these things would get you farther, but you have to pay for them. They are not free. And then just in general, consultations. If you need a marketing consultation, I'm hopefully your girl. but there are different people that you can consult with. You're going to see them throughout prep for Wave Week for different things. So you really have to hone in on what are major pain points in your travel business and then go from there. You will definitely not need every single thing that's listed here. You do not need all of these things, but you may need one thing from each of these lists. And so pick whatever is going to work for you, which works for your brain. I'm sorry, this has been a pretty long session, but it is really, really chock full. And I hope that I have given you at least enough information to make some decisions, maybe switch up some things or look into some things you have not previously thought about. But I will go ahead and this session and all the sessions are being brought to you by a school that I have, and it's called Marketing Business School. I run it. I'll have some more information down below. If marketing is something that you are needing help with, getting clients, being more visible, I take a kind of different approach to marketing. And so I would love for you to join me in Marketing Business School. See what it's all about. There's monthly trainings, co-working sessions. We do a tech talk where we can kind of break down some of these things as well. And I would love to have you in there. It's only currently $25 a month to join for monthly trainings. I'm also putting templates. So if you have been wanting to track your visibility efforts, visibility means getting in front of clients. That is something that you will want to tune in on. So let's wrap this up in a nice tight bow. And I will see you in the next sessions. But I hope you've enjoyed this session. Please give me any feedback and let me know, what did I miss out? Because I know for sure I missed out on something here. What else do you want to learn about travel tech? All right, that is it for me now. Enjoy the rest of Operations Day and prep for Wave Week.